So it's Sunday, July 24th, 2022. Um, this might be a Darcy's Corner. This is kind of my attempted to record this once already, and I get emotional, I get ranty, and again, I don't know why I'm sharing these or recording these other than I want it on record somewhere that I'm doing all that I can do to make the world a better place for myself and for those around me. And it is just so frustrating and insulting to have some of the people closest to me imply that all the work I've been doing all these years has been for nothing because I should have just kept it all for myself. It's always been a sore spot for me that people would think of me as lazy or inadequate or that I wasn't even trying. I have had several relatives who were known for being incredibly lazy and doing nothing and having lots of things given to them and them never giving back and always being selfish. And most of them have passed at this point. Some of them are still around, but most of them have passed. And I'm not trying to speak ill of them at this point. It doesn't benefit anybody. But I never wanted to be them. And from the time I was, 17, 18, I've almost always had 2 jobs. I've always worked as many hours as I could at whatever was available. And sometimes I would have slow spots where I might go 6 months or a year without working too much because I got laid off from this job or that job, and sometimes I had the opportunity to relax for 5 or 6 months, so I would. But even during that time, there was always something that would come along. I would go do it. But ultimately, I've always worked a lot. And I don't have a whole lot of material possessions to show for that. But that truck cost me $30,000. I have some material possessions. There's tanks and TVs and things. And a few coins, gold and silver. And I've put thousands of dollars into my beekeeping equipment and livestock and learning how to do all that. And that's taken hours and hours and hours of my life. And I never really resented any of that. And the few times when I would have high-paying jobs that I'd have to work 12 and 14-hour days for sometimes weeks or months away from home at a time, I didn't resent that either because that allowed me to do things. Allowed me to go to Mexico with Connie. It allowed me to buy some very nice Christmas presents a couple years in a row for family members. And one of those family members who I bought Christmas presents for just slapped me in the face basically by saying they didn't have to work more than 16 hours a week. I was asking them to work 20. 5 whole days at 4 hours a day. And that person is too good to work that much because don't I know that they're an adult and they have mental health issues. Now I don't know what their mental health issues are, but that's one of the smartest, most capable people I know. And so the idea that they are too good to work 20 hours a week, whatever their mental health issues are, that's just lazy. There's no excuse for not being able to do a basic job. They don't have to do what I do. They don't have to work 70 hours a week, which is what I'm doing right now, by the way. They don't have to be away from home for months and months at a time with no days off and working crazy hours, and they don't have to do that. Really, they don't have to do anything. But it would be really nice if they put in a minimum effort. Because for this particular person, I was going to leave them my beekeeping business, which at the moment isn't worth very much, but when I'm done, it's going to be worth $500,000. And between now and the time I finish building it, I'm buying a $250,000 life insurance policy on myself, which I was going to leave to them just in case I died before this was finished being built. But there's no way I can ever give that person another thing the rest of my life, because I have to think, well, I had to work more than 20 hours a week, every week, just to pay my rent, just to be able to eat. So if I don't work at least 50 hours a week, there's no way I can give that person a stick of gum because I don't have the money to do it. And if they, as an adult, never have to work more than 20 hours a week, like, how can I justify giving anything to a person that lazy? How can I justify leaving that person $250,000 or a $500,000 business? And it's fine by me, by the way. If that person doesn't want the business, if they just wanted to sell it, keep the money, that'd be fine. I was going to set her up with a car and a job. And at the end, right now, it's a crappy job. But if she'd stuck with it, in about 3 years, that job would pay about $30,000. If she wanted that job, if she wanted to go get a different job with the car I was going to enable her to get, it's fine. She could get a different job. She's smart. She's capable. I don't know what her mental challenges are, but whatever they are, they can be overcome. She could do anything she wanted to do, but she would rather do nothing. Use your friend. Use your friend's home. Use your friend's vehicle. Use your friend's resources. I can't justify that. I can't accept that. I can never give that person another nickel without thinking I had to work more than 20 hours this week for you to have that from me. I've worked the last 3 years with hardly ever a day off and no end in sight. I finally get to the point where I'm almost going to have some days off and some money at the same time. And she's going to slap me in the face and say, well, it's your own fault. You're working 70 hours a week. And if I don't show up for the job you hired me for, that's your fault too. No. As you quite rightly pointed out, you are an adult. And you have made some very poor decisions. And they just cost you $250,000. And any help from me ever in the future, because I just can't help somebody who's that lazy, who cares that little about her family, which is me, by the way. I could have a heart attack working this many hours, taking this many stimulants to stay awake. I get killed at work. There's a lot of things there that can kill you if you're tired and it falls on you, or you fall off of a building or into a feed bin. They're quite a ways up there. Like, it's not as though she had a better option to choose. If she did, I wouldn't hold her back. If she had an option across the road for $20 an hour full time, I would 100% tell her to go take it. If she had the opportunity to get a car that was her own another way, I'd be like, go do it. No, she just can't be bothered to show up to work because parts of the job are inconvenient. Well, parts of every job are inconvenient. And if you weren't so entitled, you would know that. I'm very sorry. Clearly, I failed you as a parent, and you have disappointed me beyond measure. All you had to do was show up, and that was too much for you because you're too good to work more than 20 hours a week because you're an adult. I guess if I hadn't been working for the last 20 years, like 2 and 3 jobs all the time, working away from home for months and months at a time, 12 and 14-hour days, maybe I wouldn't understand what it's like to have to work 4-hour days, only 5 days a week, and have all these things given to you. I'm sorry this is so personal to me, but it really is. Because I always work. And the idea that you are entitled to me working 70 hours a week so that I can leave you a $250,000 life insurance policy and a $500,000 business, and you can't even show up for a part-time effort? No, I'm sorry. I'm just working too hard. I guess I need a wellness day. But if I take a day off, I risk losing everything. Anyway, this is Darcy's Corner. Sorry about the rant, y'all. Peace.